What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 10 of the Boxed Up Entrepreneur podcast. In this episode, I am excited to have Terri Martinez on the show, aka Creating the Magic. And in this episode, we talk about how it's never too late to follow your passion. Terri is 45 years old as she begins to embark on her journey in creating her dream life and doing her dream career as a Disney vacation planner. And on top of all of that, you guys get a little Disney hacks as a little bonus. Enjoy the episode. Hey Terri, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join me on my podcast. I appreciate it a lot.
I'm honored, definitely honored.
All right, so let's get started. Let's get started with a little bit of a background as to who you are.
Okay. Person-wise, job is...
Let's go with person-wise.
Person-wise. All right. Well, my name is Terri. I live in Texas, and I am 45 years old, and I have two kids, and one is married and one just graduated last year. And in that big step in my life and that transition of roles changing, basically, I was beginning to get tired with the kind of work that I was doing, and was really deciding to grasp onto who I really am. And that kind of took me into my venture of wanting to start my side business that I am now trying to make my number one business.
Okay, and so what is your number one business?
The one that I want to be my number one business?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I am in love with Disney, and I love to plan vacations. However, I don't want to be a travel agent per se. I want to be the one that just gives. If you've ever really looked at how to plan one, it is extremely overwhelming. And the way that I think, I am a step-by-step kind of person. And planning a Disney vacation is a step-by-step process. And there's so many moving parts. And I just break it down to the simplest terms from there. Also, helping people understand what Disney is. And to me, Disney is not a thrill place. It is there to immerse you, and it is to make you be a different person when you're there. It changes you. You feel like a kid again, the whole thing. You need to let go of being an adult while you're there. And so characters are a really big thing for me. Experiencing different things while you're there. Maybe it be dressing up like a princess or meeting the princesses. But I really dive into what you can do to make your trip magical and not just rushing to this ride, to that ride, to this show, to that dinner reservation, that kind of stuff. So that is my main goal, is to help people experience Disney the right way.
Right. Okay. And so what did you do before all of this? What was your day job, or what is your day job?
I am a general manager of a retail store.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that for?
About 15 years.
15 years. And so what was it that made you finally decide to go for it? What was holding you back? Let's start with that. What was holding you back before you decided to take that dive?
Thinking I was too old, that it was too late, that there were too many people already doing what I wanted to do. And I'm always the behind the camera kind of person. I've always been the behind the scenes mom. I'm the one, holding the bags, holding the soccer bags, doing the dance stuff or whatever. And I was never really in front of a camera. So being in front of the camera was a really, really hard thing for me.
Yeah. And how did you overcome that?
Honestly, just doing it. Just seriously. I am one of those ones that likes Gary Vee. He's got his just do it or not do it. I mean, that's basically it. You either start or you don't. And that's the kind of mindset that I have on things. And in the beginning, I've been toying with this for about a year and a half. And I'll be consistent with it for a good month, and then I get, this isn't working. I'm not getting followers. I'm not doing this. And this isn't happening. But I have written down on a piece of paper in there, consistency is key. It's the stuff you do every single day. And honestly, one night, Gary Vee said, get on TikTok. I don't know what you're doing. And so I did it. I was like, what do I have to lose? So I made it TikTok, and literally my second video basically went viral. I woke up to 1,300 followers, 62 comments, and honestly, it scared the living crap out of me how quickly that escalated. Mm-hmm. So I kind of stepped back just a little bit, kind of composed myself, and realized that people are really wanting what I was offering, and finally figured out how to work the platform and how to break it down. And now, being as consistent as I am, I'm growing and growing and growing and getting more comfortable. I will say that TikTok is helping me learn how to say what I need to say in a short amount of time. It is making me get to the point, and that has really, really helped me a lot.
Okay. Are you on any other platforms besides TikTok right now?
I am on Instagram at Creating the Magic. And then I'm hoping after the first of the year, I do want to start a YouTube channel.
Okay. That is awesome. So talk to us a little bit about your TikTok then. Like, what are your strategies behind TikTok? How many times are you posting a day, et cetera, et cetera?
I'm also one of those that just tell me what to do 4 times a day. And I've also seen... I've kind of seen a pattern of like when my phone starts to ding and people are liking. So I know the times of the day. So for me, it's 10 a.m., usually about 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and then 6 p.m. And that just seems to reach the most people, and I get the most interaction at those time frames for me. And then in the beginning, I wasn't saying, and on TikTok, you can only do so much. You can't really go into a whole lot of detail. So it took me a little while, probably my first week of posts. And I'm like, why am I not telling people to go to Instagram? Because that's really where I'm on it, on stories, being able to have a little bit more time to explain, and my posts are a little bit more in depth. So I started to say, follow me on Instagram, and that has helped my Instagram grow. I was stuck and I'm literally 112 followers. That's it. And now I'm up to, I think, 153. And that is just with 2-week period.
Right. Just directing your traffic from one platform to the other. Yeah, that's awesome. Yes. Okay. And so what are some of your best tricks and hacks that you have? Because you're right. Going to Disney as a parent, I can see how easily that becomes so stressful with the crowds and wanting to experience everything. Because, Disney is one of those things that a lot of people only have one shot in their entire lifetime to do. Unless, you live in the state of Florida or something like that. So, for a family that wants to go to Disney and make the most out of it, what do you have to say?
What, for the people that want to go for their one time? Yes. The most thing that I get asked is budgeting. So I really help with where to get your cheaper tickets, how to look for the packages that they're doing and stuff like that. A lot of people don't realize that you can bring food in the park. So I'm telling, giving hacks on that, and your cooler can only be so big. There's so many little itty bitty details that I really go in, and you really don't know until you have really gone through and experienced it yourself. So that I'm really about the little itty bitty details that you really, really need to know. So that's really what I hone in on.
How many times have you been to Disney?
I've been to Disneyland 12 times. I have been to Disney World 7.
Wow.
Yes.
So where does the obsession with Disney stem from?
I asked my mom this because I'm not really sure. I don't know if it was just because we went so much when I was little, and then my senior trip, they opened up the parks for an all-nighter for all seniors, and for some reason, when I came back from that trip, it just stuck with me. And that senior trip was my first time to actually go to Disney World. Now, Disney World is what I consider my home park. Usually, if you're a Disney fan, you have a home park that you know more than the other. And mine is Disney World. So I just fell in love with everything.
Disney World is the one in Orlando?
Yes, Disney World is the one in Orlando, correct.
Okay.
What are some of the quick tips and tricks that you have for people that want to go to Disney?
Quick tips and trips.
don't think that if you stay off site that it is that you're going to be waiting in long lines. There's strategies around getting that. Like what? Probably be at rope drop. Be at the parks. If the park says it opens at 9 a.m., you need to be there at 8 a.m. because sometimes they open the park 30 minutes before actually opening time for those rides that really get long lines. So if you can get there and you can get into the park and get as close to as you can to the ride, you'll be able to walk on the ride. And you don't have to wait in a long line. So rope dropping a park is absolutely essential, especially if you don't get those coveted fast passes that you are looking for. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Anything else? Also, whenever you go, don't think you're going to do it all. Plan your trip around what you're interested in. So if you've got somebody who's interested in princesses, then plan your trip around the princesses, because a lot of people say that they want to take their kids when they remember when they're going to be older so that they remember it. But the key is to plan your trip so that they do remember it. Mm-hmm. So if you've got somebody in princesses, then do everything princess, because I promise you that is what they're going to remember. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite part of the Disney parks? My favorite part, the immersion. Literally, I can walk into any park and just the music alone just sets me on fire. I get goosebumps just thinking about it, just being in everything. Yeah. Everything. Okay. Any other tips, hacks? So I know you talked something. I saw one of your videos. You talking about merch and how to plan your budget when you want to buy certain things. What do you have to say about that? That is correct. A lot of people are very unprepared for how much merchandise is at the parks and how many options there are for so many things. And again, that was another thing as well. I also have started an eBay store for Disney merch. I love to go to garage sales and to flea markets and stuff like that. And a lot of people will buy all the Disney merchandise while they're there because they're in the moment, but they're not huge Disney fans. So when they come home, they have no use for it. So they just sell it cheap. And that's whenever I grab it up. And if you know what the standard souvenirs are, you can get them before you go to not have to pay full price in the parks. And there's also something called Tinkerbell gifts. So basically, while the kids are sleeping, Tinkerbell comes and leaves a few gifts for whatever park that you are visiting that day to help you with the park, whether it be a sucker or a crown if you're going to go see the princesses, or whatever the case may be, whatever the kids are into. But if you know that kind of stuff, then you can pre-plan before you go, and you can stay away from the gift shops and the amount of cost it is to have the merchandise in the parks, because it's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah, I remember the last time going,
just being kind of overwhelmed by how much a set of Mickey ears would cost you.
That is correct. Correct.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So tell us a little bit about let's go shifts back to your mindset, 'cause I wanna talk about that because a lot of people struggle with what you talked about in terms of age, how you thought you were too old to get started. So tell us a little bit about why you thought that, and then what helped you evolve away from that. Because I know you said the just do it aspect, but I believe there had to be a little bit something else going on there.
The job that I was at, the one that I quit to be able to take a lesser job, was just eating my life away.
Mm-hmm.
I was there 60, 65, 70 hours a week. Vacations were few and far between, and I basically had my phone attached to my hand just in case there was some kind of problem or call or something. And I just didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to be able to have a life where I could be free, I guess, I love going to the beach. You know, I'm very close to the coast here, and it's an hour drive for me, roughly. And at that time, you know, everything was changing in my life. I've been so involved in my kids, and they were beginning to get their own life. And then I thought, so what am I going to do?
Right.
Am I just going to sit at home? And I didn't want to do that. So it was just, and then the people that I love to follow on social media at Disney that live there, I'm like, I can do that. And I love to do that. And people have told me over the years, because I've helped people plan their vacations just because I love it so much, they tell me, you should do this. And finally, I just wanted, it clicked. I'm like, I should do this. I don't know what I'm waiting for. And so it took a good year to build the confidence, talking or listening to people all the time. I love to, Mel Robbins is one that I listened to in the beginning. I have her book, The 5-Second Rule. Of course, Tony Robbins, of course, Gary Vee. You know, just I had to put it in my ears. Every morning I get up and I get everybody off to work and wherever they need to be. And it's really early. It's about 7:30. I stick my ear pods in my ear and I take a walk. I got to get outside, and I just have to get that positivity, that reassurance that I can do it. What are you waiting for? It's now or never. Don't live with regret. It's just, you either want it or you don't. And I didn't want to be a content consumer. I wanted to be a content creator. And I just kept telling myself that. And finally, literally just clicked. I woke up one day, I'm like, okay, let's go. So I've got all these TikToks I need to make for this week, and I realized that I could draft them, so I didn't have to be on the phone 24/7 at work. Because at the beginning, I brought my ears to work, and I would tell my staff, all right, I'll be right back. I got to go make this.
Wow.
But I'm beginning to learn how to use apps to help me plan and schedule stuff and stuff like that. So it's getting easier.
That's awesome. That makes me happy to hear that you were so resourceful. The fact that you were bringing your ears to work and you were like, well, I mean, I don't care what you have to say. Like, I'm leaving my this to do what I love to do. I think that's
right.
awesome. How long were you living with this idea inside your head? Like, how long had it been a thought before you actually put it into action?
About a year.
Yeah.
About a year. Yes. And then off and on for about 6 months, just because I didn't have the confidence at the time. And then I was, just like every entrepreneur in the beginning, you have to start from ground zero. And sometimes it's hard to have crickets and not grow and, just all of the above. But you can't quit. I mean that was it. I have in my room, in my closet every day. You either want it or you don't.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. I'm looking at your TikTok right now. I have it open on my phone, and it's funny to see the evolution in just like your views. Guys, I always love doing that. I like seeing the progression of growth and how you go from 400, 500, 700, 1,000, 2,000, and it just progressively gets more and more and more. So yeah, that's so cool. That makes me happy. Um, I'm glad that you were in my lives, that you were interacting with me, because I would have never have found you otherwise. So thank you for the support. Every live that I do, you seem to be there, so I appreciate that a lot. And now the support, best believe the support is going to go right back. I'm going to be there every step of the way. I love to see the hustle and the spirit that you got. And really, I just love to see you loving what you do. Like that is what an entrepreneur should be doing. An entrepreneur should just be focusing on providing value, focusing on what they love, and the success will come. And you are a prime example of that.
Yes. Thank you so
Yeah. So what's the next step? What are you hoping to get out of this? What's the major goal? What's the major life goal here?
The major life goal is kind of selfish, and I write in my journal every morning that I want to be known for the kind of content, and I want to be. My goal is to be at the parks about every 8 weeks because there's so much information that Disney does and things change so quickly. So I really want to be there, whether it's just a weekend trip, a week trip, whatever. I need to be at the parks consistently. And my goal is to be in the parks and be recognized and thanked for breaking it down and showing them that it can happen, because a lot of people think that a Disney vacation is a once in a lifetime shot, and they want to get it right. And if as I've gone more and more, I've been able to slow down and people watch and figure out what it is that people really need to know instead of carrying a screaming kid from this thing to that thing to that thing. And that's really my ultimate goal. I want to be known for. I'm in the process of making autograph books, and what it does is it sparks a conversation with the characters, because a lot of people don't realize the characters at Disney World, they have to know their character and their story inside and out.
Oh, wow.
They can go off on a tangent and they can just talk about whatever. If it's Mulan, she can tell you exactly where Mushu is and where the Emperor is, and just they can do all of that. And there at the parks, the autograph books are just white pages, and there's no memory attached to it. I have mine here with my kids, but there's no memory attached. I wanted to create something that's going to spark the conversation and the interaction with the character, because that is key on a memory. And then from there, you're able to bring it home and flip through it as you get older and remember the encounter that you had at that time. So that is something that I'm working on right now, because I'm not Martha Stewart, but I know that the idea will catch on, and I really want to be known for having that.
So that would be like your trademark almost.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no one else who's doing anything like that?
Not that I've seen. People are taking the kind of books that I have, because they're like the little golden books, and they're just putting like plain paper in there. Mine, what I do is I make the autograph book for each park, and in the book it has each character that you will meet in the park. So the book will be ever changing. I'm also a huge Halloween fan, so I'm also creating a book that has all the villains in it. So whenever you go to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, you meet all the villains. Villains are my absolute favorite. So that's what I'm really theming it to who you're going to meet.
That's
so
awesome.
That's for me is the differentiation that I have that the other people don't.
So are you doing do you do personalized guides too? So say I came to you and I was like, well, I need the most effective way of going through Disney because I love Star Wars and I love this and that. And then someone else comes up to you and they say, well, I want the most effective way because I want to buy princess themed stuff, but I also want to see the avatar. Like, do you do personalized stuff as well?
I am working on that, yes, and I am hoping to have my website up also after the first of the year, and it will do that. It will. So if you're a Star Wars fan, then I'll give you everything that you need to do Star Wars wise. Same thing with princesses and stuff like that. There are other sites out there that have it, but I will break it down into a lot of questions that I get is, they only have a budget for so many parks. And then that's when I begin to hone in on exactly what they want to see. And then I can tell them what parks to go to. So that will, I'm really hoping to have that on my website as well. I'm really breaking it down into, if you want to see Cars, if you want to see Buzz Lightyear, if you want to see Woody, all that stuff that's there. I'm really trying to bring it all together into one packet.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then what is your favorite physical location or thing that Disney does? Do you have like a specific area that's your favorite? Do you have a specific event that's your favorite? What's your favorite thing that Disney does or offers?
I mean, really just everything. Now, I have my two favorite parks are Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom.
Mm.
Those are my absolute two favorite parks. I still love all the other ones, but for some reason, I can just stand in either Hollywood Studios or Magic Kingdom and just literally just stand there and just take it all. Here. I do love all the extra stuff that they do, like the parties that they do, the Halloween parties that they do, because they really hone in on the stuff that I grew up with, like the Headless Horseman, like in the parade at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, the Headless Horseman rides through Magic Kingdom, and it is the coolest thing ever. So that I just love the detail. Disney is detail, 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 detail. That's what I love.
That's awesome. All right, Terri. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much again for the time that you took to do this with me.
You're welcome.
Any final advice or last words that you want to say to anybody who's going to watch this?
If you're thinking about doing it, do it. Absolutely do it. Find the motivation, because I tell you, everybody around me in my life just thinks I'm crazy. But I just hone in on what I want to do, and in the beginning nobody understands, because for me it's a burning feeling. It almost hurts that I'm not at the parks. It almost hurts that I am not doing what I want to do, and if it hurts that bad, then go for it. Don't listen to anybody else. Just do it.
Awesome. All right, Terri, thank you so much. I appreciate it once again, and we will stay in contact, all right?
Thank you so much.
All right, Terri, you have a nice rest of your night, okay?
You too.
Bye-bye.